Welcome to the Mary Potter podcast. This week, we've got, well, you've brought us a couple of really fascinating scenarios, like pulled right out of the wizarding world flash fiction. You know, those stories, those little nuggets of imagination. So get ready for a fun ride, like stepping into one of those epic fantasy films or like diving into a best-selling series.
Yeah, yeah, two really intriguing stories to sort of unpack with you today.
First up, we're heading back in time, way back to the 1920s, to Cairo. You know, that time when the archaeological discoveries in Egypt were just like exploding, all those incredible finds. And our main character is, well, he's a street conjurer named Kareem. Now, this guy, he's all about illusion, not actual magic, right? So what happens when his carefully crafted tricks, his whole act collides with what seems to be like a genuine ancient pharaoh's curse? Talk about a magical mishap, huh?
It really is. You've got this practitioner of, manufactured wonder suddenly face to face with something potentially like authentic, ancient. It makes you think, like, where's the line between what we believe and what's actually, out there, what's real?
Right. And then, for our second flash fiction story, we're jumping ahead to the present day. This time we meet he's basically a modern-day invisible man. But the way he got his invisibility, it's actually through transfiguration spells, according to the story. And the thing is, his experience, it takes a really wild turn when he stumbles into this whole secret society of mages. Can you imagine? You go through all that trouble to become invisible, only to end up super visible in a hidden magical world.
It's like flipping the script, isn't it? It really raises these cool questions about invisibility. Like, Is it a total thing or is it, relative? Does it depend on who's looking and where you are? And the story, it suggests that maybe reality itself has these layers of visibility hidden from us.
Exactly. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to delve into these two flash fiction stories. We're going to break them down, figure out what makes them tick, what makes them so captivating, and maybe even try to get a sense of how magic might actually work in these crazy imaginative worlds, ready to hit the streets of Cairo.
Let's do it. 1920s Cairo. I mean, the setting itself is so rich, right? You've got this this intense period of archaeological activity. Like, they're literally digging up the past. And it just creates this feeling like anything's possible. Like ancient forces could wake up at any moment.
Totally. And Kareem, our conjurer, he's right in the middle of it, making his living off illusions. His whole life is about creating these believable falsehoods, and people pay to see it. It's such a stark contrast, isn't it? Him relying on sleight of hand, misdirection, while around him they're pulling actual mysteries, centuries old, out of the ground. What do you think that juxtaposition, that contrast tells us?
It kind of highlights how our understanding of what's extraordinary, maybe it comes from what we experience in the ordinary. Kareem's world, it's all illusion. So it makes sense that he'd see these seemingly supernatural things through that lens. It's like a human thing.
Yeah.
Try and fit new experiences into the boxes we already have, right?
Yeah, and then those boxes get totally blown apart in the marketplace, don't they? Talk us through that moment, that turning point.
Oh, yeah, the incident with the wealthy tourist and that scarab amulet. It's the catalyst, the thing that sets everything off. It's so sudden, so jarring, and it's just beyond any normal explanation. 1 minute, this tourist is checking out this supposedly ancient scarab, and the next, bam, he's hit with this terrifying vision of living sand engulfing him. Then there's this creepy green light coming from the amulet, and the whole marketplace starts to transform. It's wild, like stalls morph into ancient ruins, and the sounds of the city, they just vanish, replaced by this tomb silence. It's like stepping into another reality. What jumps out at you about this scene?
I think it's the speed, how fast it happens, and all the sensory details, like the green light, the stalls collapsing. It's not a gradual shift. It's like, bam, you're in another world. And the fact that Kareem, a guy who literally messes with people's perceptions for a living, he's clearly freaked out. It tells us this is not just a trick, right? And then into this chaos walks Dr. Bellwether, the archaeologist. How does he react to all this?
Well, Dr. Bellwether, he's got that classic academic arrogance.
Yeah.
He immediately dismisses the whole thing as some fool's curse, like he's trying too hard to be skeptical. But you get the feeling there's some greed there, and maybe deep down he actually believes in the power of these ancient sites and all the treasures they might hold. So he's a skeptic, but only when it suits him. What do you make of that kind of selective skepticism?
Makes you wonder, right? Like, what filters do we have in our minds? How do our desires, our beliefs shape the way we see things, even when they're totally bizarre? And what about Kareem? How does he reconcile his conjurer's skepticism with everything that's happening?
At first, Kareem's reaction is all about, professional cynicism. It's like a defense mechanism, right? Old stories to scare off Tomb Raiders, he thinks. But unlike Bellwether, who's almost choosing to be blind to it, Kareem's skepticism starts to crumble as he sees these magical things happening. His illusions, his whole act. We can't explain this. It's like he's realizing he's in way over his head.
No.
Like a performer suddenly sharing the stage with the real deal.
And that realization, that fear, it kind of pushes him into this whole quest, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Bellwether, he's driven by this vision of riches hidden in the tomb. So he offers Kareem a deal. Break the curse, and the treasures are all yours. For Kareem, it's a chance to get away from all the chaos, and maybe, just maybe, it's like a challenge, Can he out-trick an ancient curse? And the fact that Bellwether gives him this, crumbling old map, it just adds to the classic adventure vibe, doesn't it? Here's the path, good luck. What do you think about Kareem's motivation here? Is it just about survival, or is there something else pulling him in?
I think there's a bit of curiosity there. He's a performer, so he's used to dealing with the unbelievable, even if it's staged. But this is a chance to see the real thing, even if it's dangerous. So Kareem heads into this tomb. What's it like inside? What does he encounter?
Oh, it's like stepping into a nightmare. Heavy air, darkness, the only light is flickering, casting shadows on these hieroglyphs all over the walls. And these aren't just decorations, they're telling a story about a really angry pharaoh. Like a warning. And as Kareem goes deeper, the curse starts to manifest. It's not just a feeling anymore. There are sand figures that come to life and attack, and these ghostly apparitions that taunt him. It's a very real experience of being in a haunted place, a place where the past is bleeding into the present.
It's interesting, though, that Kareem's skills, even though they're not magical, they actually help him deal with these magical threats.
Totally. His agility from years of performing and dodging, grumpy audience members, it helps him avoid those sand figures. And his understanding of misdirection, how to play with perception, it helps him see through some of the illusions. It's even when you're up against something extraordinary, your everyday skills can still be useful. He's just using his tools on a totally different stage now.
And then after all that danger, the discovery in the burial chamber is kind of a surprise, isn't it?
It is. You expect, mountains of gold, ancient artifacts, the whole Pharaoh's treasure, right? But the chamber itself is, it's pretty ordinary, almost disappointing. The carvings are rushed, the sarcophagus is just kind of shoved in there. But this anticlimax, it's actually the key to understanding the curse. It's not about protecting treasure. The amulet, it starts to fade, but it guides Kareem to this hidden alcove. And inside, there's no gold, no jewels, just a plain scribe's stylus. What do you think about that?
It's like a total twist, right? All that danger, all that buildup, and it leads to a writing tool.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with the stylus? What does it tell us about the curse?
The thing is, the Pharaoh, he wasn't angry because someone was stealing his stuff. His unrest, the source of the curse, it came from this, disrespect. His final resting place was incomplete, rushed. The unfinished carvings, the whole vibe of the tomb, that's what was angering him.
Yeah.
And the stylus, the tool for writing, for creating, for communication, it becomes the way to fix it. It's like a testament to the power of intent and how much legacy matters.
So it wasn't about greed or revenge, but about wanting respect, wanting his story to be told properly. And how does Kareem, a street conjurer, how does he figure this out and fix it? He's not exactly an expert on ancient Egypt.
This is where the story gets a bit mystical, Guided by the last of the amulet's power, or maybe just this intuition he's picked up, Kareem, he picks up the stylus. It's like he's being led, like he knows what to do without thinking about it. And he uses it to finish the hieroglyphs, to add scenes of peace, of prosperity, of the Pharaoh's reign. He's completing the narrative. And as he finishes the last stroke, the stylus, it crumbles to dust, the amulet goes dark, and the curse is lifted. Just like that.
And Bellwether, I bet he was thrilled to miss all that.
Right. His timing is, well, it's comical. He bursts in, all excited about gold and glory, and he finds an empty chamber just bathed in normal sunlight. His disappointment, it's almost funny, especially compared to what just happened. Like a really profound moment, even if there's no treasure. It shows the difference between them,
Wow.
their motivations, their understanding of the situation.
Yeah, it does. So the marketplace goes back to normal, but Kareem, has he changed? Has this encounter left a mark on him?
There were hints, little clues that it has. He notices this faint scarab outline on his palm, like a permanent reminder of his brush with magic. And maybe even more interesting, this trick coin he's always carried, it feels different. Like it's charged with a different kind of power. It's like he's been touched by something real, something that could change him. The whole curse with awesome trope, like a bad experience unlocks a hidden potential.
Absolutely. So, stepping back from this first story, what are the big takeaways? What are the themes we're seeing here?
Well, there are a few. First, the mix of the ordinary and the mystical, how everyday life can be interrupted by these forces we don't understand. Then there's the whole skepticism versus belief thing, like how firsthand experience can challenge even our deepest assumptions. And maybe the most interesting part is how appearances can be so deceiving. The curse, it wasn't what everyone thought. It wasn't about material things, but about these deeper human needs, even in death. Makes you think, what else are we misinterpreting? What else is hidden beneath the surface?
Really does. Okay, let's shift gears to our second story, the invisible mage. Here we have Griffin, who achieved invisibility through, as you mentioned, transfiguration spells. Why did he want to become invisible in the first place? What was he hoping to achieve?
His reasons, at least at the start, they seem kind of, well, not that impressive. The story paints it as a power trip, a way to deal with feeling insignificant. He mentions petty crimes, so it sounds like he wanted to use his invisibility for selfish reasons, maybe a little revenge on people he felt had wronged him. Not exactly noble goals. What do you think this says about invisibility, the fantasy of it?
Maybe it's about that immediate thrill, like doing things unseen, not so much about the deeper implications. But then he runs into this woman with the elaborate hat, and his invisible world gets a lot more complicated. What was that encounter like?
That's where his whole understanding of invisibility, it just shatters. He's totally unseen by the regular world, right?
Yeah.
But then, boom, he sees this shimmering figure, a woman with this over-the-top hat, and she's totally visible to him. It's like there's another level of seeing, a magical one that his invisibility doesn't affect. And when she calls him standard human variety, it's like not only is there this hidden world, but he's nothing special in it. What does this tell us about the limits of his invisibility?
It's like he solved one problem, not being seen by the normal world, but he missed a whole other layer of reality with different rules. And that lack of awareness leads to him, well, literally falling into this magical world.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. The ground gives way, and he tumbles headfirst into this room that just screams magic, like flickering candles, dusty bookshelves, the whole atmosphere is thick with it. And he lands right in the middle of this gathering of mages. They're not too happy about it, of course. They start muttering spells, and it's clear they see themselves as separate, maybe even superior to the non-magical world. What do you think goes through Griffin's mind at that moment?
Probably pure panic. He went through all this trouble to disappear, and now he's the main attraction in a world he didn't even know existed. And then they explain why they can see him.
The head mage, he lays it out. Griffin's spell, it works great on regular people, but in the magical realm, it makes him stand out like a beacon. It's like trying to hide in one place can make you super obvious in another. And then they mention sensing phantom eyes on him, which is kind of creepy. Makes you think, what does it really mean to be seen or unseen?
Suddenly, his invisibility is a huge problem. How does he deal with all this unwanted attention?
He basically freaks out, and it's kind of funny. He's just this voice, nobody, and he's trying to explain himself to these increasingly annoyed mages. He even swears off science, which shows how confused he is. It's like the classic fish out of water story, but invisible.
But even though he manages to escape, he's not the same, is he? He's back in his apartment, still invisible to the normal world, but now he knows about this magical world. And then there's that business card.
Right. His invisibility is back to normal, but his perspective is totally different. He can't unknow what he's learned. And then he finds this fancy business card from Madame Mystique, offering help with interdimensional mishaps. It's like a lifeline, but also maybe a trap. What kind of mishaps do you think she handles?
Ooh, so many possibilities, and probably some scary ones. So his plan for petty theft, it's gone way off track. What's his final realization in this story?
He realizes that his invisibility, which he saw as this tool for himself, it could be so much more powerful with magic. He starts thinking about new heists, but now with magical possibilities. It leaves you wondering what he'll do next, what kind of trouble he'll get into. It's like the unintended consequences opened up a whole new world for him, one he never imagined. Makes you think about how often that happens in life, right?
It does. So what are the big themes, the key takeaways from this second story?
It's about hidden realities, different ways of seeing and experiencing the world. It contrasts science and magic, showing how they might clash or complement each other. And ultimately, it's about how messing up can lead to unexpected opportunities. Makes you wonder what else is out there, hidden just beyond our perception.
So listeners, what do you think? In Cairo, was the Pharaoh's curse real magic, or was there some other explanation? And what will Kareem do now that he might have a touch of magic himself?
And what about our invisible man? Is he ready for a life of magic? What kind of interdimensional mishaps will Madame Mystique help him with? And what will it cost him? Will he be a bridge between worlds, or will he always be an outsider?
These stories, even though they're short, they spark our imagination, don't they? They make us think about the hidden layers of reality and all the possibilities out there.
They do. They remind us that there's magic in the mundane, and that even small actions can have huge consequences.
We hope this magical probe has made you curious about the world around you. What other wild stories are waiting to be discovered? What other intersections of magic and reality are out there? That's something to think about until our next exploration. Rate and follow the Mary Potter podcast for more captivating stories.